Hey, how y'all doing? I will tell you that it is single digits here in Missouri. Single digits, it's cold. And of course, my doggy has to go out in it because he loves it. He don't care about the cold. Now, when he lays down and he's being still, then the chill kind of sneaks up on him. But I'm going to tell you what's my saving grace. I finally decided to take charge of the fact that my hands and feet are always cold, no matter that I have wool socks on, I have thick gloves on. It makes no difference. My hands and feet have, ever since I can remember, I've always had a major problem keeping them warm. So I decided to grab the bull by the horns. And now I have a procedure. Okay, you guys might find this very helpful if it's really cold where you are. And then we'll get to the topic. You take 2 pairs of wool socks. I take a thin-ish pair, and a thick pair, and I put a hot hands. It's activated. It's a heat pack thing called hot hands. You take it out of the plastic, you shake it up, let it get air activated, and then I put them in like a sandwich in between both pairs of socks where my toes are. Put my boots on. I'm warm for the rest of the day, regardless of being out for however long. I do that obviously with both feet, and I'm good to go. Hot hands is what they're called. I just got myself some rechargeable mittens mittens keep your hands warmer than gloves, and you just have to charge your batteries up, unplug it when you're not using it because otherwise it'll drain the battery. Even though you're not using it, it'll drain the battery because people have commented on that. And I wasn't going to spend $100 if I could help it because a lot of times those gloves or mittens are very, very high. So I'll try those tomorrow. In the meantime, I have rechargeable heat warmers. They're about so big. You recharge them, and depending on what level you have them at, that'll determine how long it lasts. And they all have different times. I keep mine on low, and I unzip the back of my gloves and I put them back in there because I don't have the mittens yet. So I put the battery or the hand warmer in the back of my gloves, and I zip it, make sure there's a pocket in your gloves, and lasts me for a long time, keeps my gloves warm, my hands warm while I'm out with him. And he's, like I said, he's unfazed by the cold, but I'm a little phased by the cold, so I decided to grab the bull by the horns and go ahead and reduce my discomfort out in the cold. So anyways, all right, so let's get to the topic. Boom, boom, and you're welcome. This is 13 Signs You Are Having Sex with a Narcissist, and this is by a psychologist. And what is her name? She is Dr. Becky Spellman. She's a leading psychologist in UK, and she's had great success helping her clients manage and overcome a multitude of mental illnesses. She's a psychologist in the UK, Dr. Becky Spellman. So here we go. Let's roll up our sleeves, dig in. All right, number 1, narcissists don't have sex because they want to feel intimate and vulnerable with someone, but because they want to be admired and seen as the best lover that you've ever had. It's never about you. It's all about how they think you see them. In my personal experience, they're either super good in bed or they suck. I haven't had a super good one. I don't know, probably in my 20s, but he wasn't a good guy either. He was emotionally distant, but he was very, very good in bed. But the rest of them, when you look back at it, even if you climax, that doesn't mean they're good in bed because they're disconnected from you. And when you sit back and you look at how you were treated during that session, you would realize that they weren't even in the room. They were doing you, but you might as well have been doing a robot. They're either really good in bed or they suck. I don't see a middle ground with narcissists. And even if they're really good, they're only good physically because they're mentally nowhere near you. Okay, move right along. That's just my personal experience. Narcissist number 2. Narcissists want to be idealized and need you to show them that you think that they're the best person and the best lover in the world, regardless of how they actually perform in bed. They will do whatever it takes to make you think that they are incredible because they need your validation. If you do not validate them continuously, eventually they will start to withdraw or even to become abusive. Sorry, y'all ain't that good in bed. You're disconnected. It's like screwing a corpse. Move right along. A narcissist will be so self-centered that they will be sure that they are always right. Even when it comes to discussing what feels good during sex, they will be sure that they know better than you do what your body feels like. If things don't go well, they will convince you that it is your fault. Everything is your fault. The fact that their parents made them is your fault too. Asinine. They will never try to reach a compromise or resolve a difficult situation through conversation. We already knew that. Number 4, a narcissist will be so convinced that they know you better than you know yourself that they will often talk down to you and belittle your opinion if it's not consistent with what they want it to be. If you try to assert yourself, they will put you in your place, often in a sarcastic and unpleasant manner. Because they are sure, number 5, because they are sure that they already know all there is to know about sex, a narcissist will rarely want to talk about it or hear anything about your point of view. They are not interested in anything that might challenge their self-image as the best lover you've ever had, which they're not the best lover you ever had if you really think about it. They suck. I would have more fun with a mannequin, a Sears mannequin. Anyway, and it would have more emotions too. Number 6, a narcissist doesn't really care about you at all. We knew that, except insofar as you can bolster his or her self-image. They will put in some effort in the early stages of the relationship, but as soon as they feel that they've got you hooked, your emotions and needs will be completely irrelevant to them, which your needs are completely irrelevant anyway. They just pretend that you matter in the beginning. Number 7, a narcissist always believes that they are right and that their views are the most important. So when you differ, they will try to convince you that you are wrong and that your views and priorities and even you yourself are flawed. Right? And they're not. Number 8, when the relationship is no longer new and has ceased to provide the narcissist with the affirmation and excitement that they crave, they will start showing you through their words and actions that you mean absolutely nothing to them. We already knew that we mean nothing to them. They really don't have to prove that. The fact that they're breathing and looking at us, we know that we don't matter. Anyway, number 9, narcissists use sex and the pretense of emotion to control others. The pretense of emotion. They like to be in control. They're starving for control. That is something that will always have control over them. Their desperation to be in control. So the need for control will always dominate them, so they will have to dominate other people. They like to be in control and often derive pleasure from giving or withdrawing sex or affection to this end. Honey, honey, honey. Yes. Yes. They will withdraw from you sexually whenever the hell they see fit. They all do the same shit. I swear there got to be a college where an underground college that they go to learn how to be asses because they're so good at being an ass. You want to be good at something, you're being good at being an ass. And you're going to be alone the rest of your life unless you find an idiot who wants to put up with your shit and your, lack of being, your lack of being faithful. If somebody's going to want to put up with that, they'll be more than happy to put up with your shit. All right. Number 10, narcissists are not really capable of feeling guilty and feel no shame about lying if they think that it will get them what they want. We knew that too. They're chronic pathological liars. Number 11, ding, ding, ding. A narcissist may appear generous at times, but they are never truly interested in being kind to others. We saw proof of that, right? They never truly are interested in being kind to others. They may buy generous gifts for the person they're in a relationship with. I've never seen that. No, their money is too important to them. But some will, just to get you where they want you emotionally, and then they'll quit doing that. Or they manipulate you with money. But only with a view to forgetting what they want. In bed, even if they take an interest in your pleasure, it is only so that they can feel good about themselves and their sexual performance, and not because they actually care about you in any way. So it's all about peacocking. There's a movie, and I think it's called, I think I saw it. Is it American Psycho? I think, with Christian Bale, or I think. Honey, at one point he's doing the girl, and as he's doing her, he's kissing his biceps in the mirror. So he's doing her, but he's watching himself in the mirror do his thing, and he's like, yeah. That's a narcissist. And in his case, he's worse than a narcissist. He's a psychopath, in addition to. Number 12, when they do something wrong or hurtful, a narcissist is unlikely to apologize or admit that they were at fault. And even if they do, it's only because they want to get something out of it. Nothing they do is without reason. Everything they do is a manipulation tactic. Know that, okay? Know that. Number 13, while your relationship may feel exciting at times, especially near the beginning, you will realize that there's no true emotional connection. Often, you will notice that the narcissist you are involved with won't even look you in the eye, such as the extent of their self-involvement. Again, this is written by Dr. Becky Spellman. She's a leading UK psychologist who's had great success helping her clients manage and overcome a multitude of mental illnesses. Yeah. They are horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I want to tell you something else. This is going to sound bizarre. It sounds bizarre to you, but it's not bizarre to a narc. All right? It's not bizarre to a narc. This is going to sound weird, so brace yourself. And this comes from experience. This is not something I'm making up as I go along. This is experience. Relationships, your title means nothing to a narcissist. Your relationship is irrelevant to them. You're in a relationship, but they're not in a relationship with you, even though they have the title, okay, of girlfriend or boyfriend or fiance or husband or wife. If that person is a narcissist, your title doesn't mean anything to them. Like I said, it doesn't matter if the title is girlfriend or boyfriend, fiance, or husband or wife. Your relationship don't mean nothing to them. There's a reason they want to be with you. They only get with you for a reason. Usually it's for image. So they can tell other people that they're married or that they're in my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. But they're not into you. Your relationship is 1000% irrelevant to them. That is why the last narc that I met, well, I had met him before, like I said. This is my first time having a one-on-one with him, and it was just, yeah. Anyway, he was with this girl for 7 years, like I told you. He was stuffing her turkey for 7 years. He's not her boyfriend in his mind. He's just wearing the boyfriend hat, but he has no commitment to the relationship. And women are the same way. Women narcs are the same exact way. So you think you're in a relationship with this person, but if this person is a narc, they're not in a relationship with you. They carry the title, but they're no more connected to you than a man on the moon. So they're your boyfriend or your girlfriend, okay, or your fiance or your so-called spouse. But you're the only person that takes that relationship seriously. I know that sounds awful, but it's true. They get married because it gives them a party. They get a lot of attention. They get to wear a tuxedo or a gown. Everybody's congratulating them, and they're just so excited because of all the attention. But the vows that they said mean absolutely nothing to them. Your marriage means nothing to them. Your relationship, your engagement means nothing to them. Your so-called relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, like I said, it means nothing to them. Nothing. They didn't mean it when they asked you to be theirs. They did not mean it when they asked you to marry them. And they god dang sure didn't mean it whenever they asked you to marry them. It is just for image purposes. And if it's a guy, he's going to have her single. If he's a guy narcissist, he's going to have her single even though she's married because she's on her own. If you're supposedly involved with this person, and I want you to hear me real carefully, and you may have to reevaluate your relationship very closely, especially after I say this. If you are in a so-called relationship with them, relationship, but you have to go through everything by yourself. You need to dump them because they are occupying space, but they're useless. They're useless. So if you get sick and you have to ask a friend to take you to the hospital because your partner is watching the football game or the basketball game or laying in the bed or laying on the couch, I'm not really up for driving today. I don't know what to tell you. I need to go to the ER. My leg is broken and my ankle is twisted. Yeah, I don't feel like driving today. Plus I'm tired. I'm just really tired. If you are sick or you are hurt or whatever it is you need your medication, but you're on crutches, so you really don't feel up to getting your medicine picked up. You don't want to pick it up from the pharmacy. You ask your partner to do it and they refuse. I think it's extremely logical, 1000% logical, that if you have to do everything alone with no assistance, especially when something's wrong with you, why are you with this person? Because you're single. You're their boyfriend or girlfriend, but you're single. You're engaged, but you're single. You're married, but you're single. Well, shit, if you're going to be single, you should make sure that you're single officially, because this motherfucker ain't doing nothing but sitting on their ass. They ain't no more concerned about you than a man on the moon. And if you die, don't die in here, because I don't need a dead person in here. So, like, can you go outside and die, or can you die while you're driving your car? Maybe that'll wrap you around a tree and I'll never have to look at your face again, which would be perfect. I mean, they're hateful. And some of them are aggressive, some of them are physically violent, some of them are psychologically abusive, and some of them are so covert that the manipulation is so subtle. And they have this calm demeanor, so they seem like they're harmless when in fact they are extremely harmful, because they mess your head up psychologically. They penetrate into your psyche to fuck you. Okay? And that's bad. That's really, really bad. If you have to be alone, well, in that includes in bed. If you're being used as a sex toy, your body's being used as a sex toy, why are you with this person? They don't care if you're satisfied sexually, mentally, financially, you're in your spirit, in your soul. They don't give a flying frick. Why are you with them? If you fell out and had a heart attack, they'd probably kick you out the back door. Go have a heart attack in the yard so I don't have to look at you. Some will actually say that. Some won't say it, but they would never come to your rescue. So if you're going to be single, you're better off single. Doesn't that make sense to you? Some of them are violent in bed. Some of them, even though that's your spouse, they have sexually assaulted you. They took it because they feel like, well, I own that ass. So whether you agree or not, I'm taking it, especially in the case of a man who can, overpower, I can't talk, overpower a woman. And it used to be that wasn't illegal. It used to be that wasn't illegal because you were married. And that's supposed to mean something. It don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing. Not to a narcissist, it don't. You gotta be kidding me. Marriage is a party to them. I got a lot of attention. I get a lot of attention for being married. But you don't mean nothing to me. Yeah, we exchanged vows. That don't mean nothing to me. It was a party. We had cake, we had drinks, we had alcohol. I got to lay you that night. I get to call you mine. I officially own that ass. But I'm not your spouse. You're married to me. A friend of mine, and some of them get violent. Some of them get violent in bed, and they are determined to do whatever they want to do to you, and you're supposed to be okay with it. I knew of someone whose guy friend is probably a narcissist too. He's never going to be faithful. And he's married. When women asked him if he was married, he slutted around so bad. When women asked him, was he married? He said, no, I'm not married, but my wife is. That sums it up. Did I tell you the relationship means nothing? The marriage means nothing to them? Did I tell you that? Your lovemaking, that means nothing to them. They're just emptying themselves. Or they're just, if in the case of a woman, she's just getting her cookies off. And she's manipulating you sexually. Because when she gets you in a good mood, maybe now you'll give me your credit card and I could go on this massive shopping spree. Or maybe this, or maybe that. They don't love you. And they never will. And that doesn't have anything to do with you as much as it has to do with them having a broken brain. Their brain is broken. So they can't love you. They're incapable. So your lovemaking means nothing. Your relationship means nothing. You mean nothing. I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to let you go. The one that I went out with who was all about me, he is very overt, but he pretends, when I knew him in the group, he pretended that he's covert, when in reality, when you get him one-on-one, that's all a facade. He's very, he pretended he was covert, but he was very overt with me when we went out. He had no qualms. Listen to me carefully. He had no qualms about sticking it in this woman that he was with, supposedly in a relationship. He wasn't in the relationship. She was in a relationship with him. Okay, let's get that straight. He had no problem sticking it in her for 7 years without a commitment. Because he can't commit to you no matter what your title is supposed to be. He can't commit to you. He's just going to, like I said, stuff you for 7 years. And then when and you're supposed to be on his beck and call. When he wants it, you're supposed to be ready. She got a promotion at work. Because he's a narcissist, he dumped her. Well, I was going to see her less. No. You know what I think really happened? I'm going to tell you what I think really happened. As I said before, people were talking in her ear and saying, you've been with this man for 7 years. I mean, are y'all going to get married? You just going to be with him another 7 years? I mean, what are you going to do with your life? Somebody was talking in her ear. And she started to pull away from him. She got her own house. He asked her to move in. not get married or anything like that. And it wouldn't have mattered if they were married, because they're not married to you. You're only married to them. Let's get that straight. She didn't want to move in with him because she got tired of being used for 7 years. She bought her own house and would not move in with him. And I guess she had I don't know if it was an apartment and then she bought her own house. I don't really know how that worked, but she bought a house instead of moving in with him. And then she got a promotion on the job simultaneously. And that's when he dumped her. And I think what really happens, regardless of his lying ass mouth, I think what really happened is she started to pull away from him because she realized that she was just a unpaid whore. Like I said, you are his girlfriend. He is not your boyfriend. Okay? Your relationship is non-existent to him, and it was non-existent from the start. But anyway, she was his unpaid whore. So she started to pull away from him because she realized that she was used for 7 years. So she started to pull away from him. He blames it on, she got a promotion at work and I was going to see her less, so I broke up with her. No. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. He's a lying sack of shit. He's a liar. That's not what happened. You don't dump somebody because they got a promotion on the job. And I'm going to see her less, so I'm out of here. No, that's not it. She started to pull away from him. That's what I think happened, because that seems a lot more logical to me. She started pulling away from him. She realized that she knew that she was irrelevant to him except for what was between her legs. And she got tired of that. She has too much patience. I wouldn't put up with that shit for 7 years. You must be crazy. I'm not putting up with him for 7 minutes. Okay. Wow. I'm not married, but my wife is. That says everything you need to know in a nutshell. Don't you even think your title means something to a narc? Because they don't. It don't mean, no, baby. No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. And a lot of people put emphasis on marriage, but you're married. You're married. I was married to myself for 25 years. Don't think those vows mean something, okay? He never held up his end of the bargain. So a piece of paper is not so almighty and so powerful that it makes that person act like a spouse because they swore up and down they would. You gotta be kidding me. Those were just words flapping in the wind. I'll be with you until death do us part. I'm not married, but my wife is. Or you could replace that the other way around. I'm not married, but my husband is. In other words, he took his vows seriously. I'm just here for the ride. If I'm a narc, I'm just here for the ride. And for the accolades for being married. Because people think that, oh, wow, you're married. That's awesome. They think that means something. If you're married to a dead person / narcissist / Sears mannequin, it don't mean nothing. Everything you have to go through by yourself. Which means you need to be by yourself officially. And that includes in the bedroom. You might as well do a Sears mannequin. You'll probably get more emotions out of him, like I said. Or yeah, so maybe some of them are females. I don't know. But you'll get more caring out of a Sears mannequin. So it's a new year. Time to get rid of the ball and chain around our necks. If I'm going to have to deal with life by myself, I'm not going to be with you. That defeats the purpose of being with you if I have to deal with everything. I'm going to be with you, but I'm still single. That's asinine to me, so let's cut this shit loose. Okay? All right, much love. Y'all take care.